What does Elon Musk love more than to keep people guessing? He is the master of it, and he's doing it to Twitter. Those things might be tied together. He's announced a bid to acquire Twitter, not sit on the board, to acquire it for $54.20 a share. It's an all-cash deal, reportedly valued at approximately $43 billion. The news comes just after he revealed that he purchased a 9.2% stake, making him the largest individual owner of the social media platform. He has a history with Twitter, as we know. He, including claims his tweets have unduly influenced stock prices of a number of companies. He's criticized the company for restricting free speech and after becoming the largest shareholder, questioned whether it was a dying platform. Musk reversed a decision to join the Twitter board because, well, I don't know if it was because, but by the way, that would have capped his total possible ownership at 14.9%. Despite averaging more than 200 million daily active users, the company's been slow growth recently, which is possibly partly led to the departure of the CEO, Jack Dorsey. Twitter said it is reviewing Musk's offer to just buy it.
Well, you have to, because I think his offering is considered generous.
I think you have to legally.
And if you're a stock owner, you got to go, well, we got to do right by whoever owns stock in this, and he's making a generous offer. I think he said that's his best and last, so he's not going to negotiate. And then there's plan B that they're worried about, which is if they do not accept his offer, he can then dump his stock. And when he dumps his stock, he's going to fuck up the prices of the stock. So they're in this weird position.
I don't know anything about this, but there's no more regulated industry than stocks and the SEC, et cetera. Is that legal? That feels like there must be some regulation against that, but what do I know?
Which part? You mean the dumping
of the stock in order to punitively ruin a company?
Well, but the whole point is I guess we don't know why you dumped your stock.
Yeah,
you can buy stock and you can sell stock, and he would go, all right, well, now I'm going to sell my stock.
And I was listening to a very brief news snippet about it, and I clearly wasn't listening very well because I don't remember. But to your question, it was basically like he has a creative relationship with the SEC, and like there are times where maybe he'll not disclose something exactly when he's supposed to disclose it because there's a little gaming of the system and they don't like it, but nothing really happens about it.
What's it going to amount to?
Right.
Yeah, the scary part is all the news outlets that have their fucking panties in a bunch because he wants to open up Twitter to basically more ideas, and people who do news for a living, journalists, hate the idea that he wants to do that, which is they're very worried about him getting hold of it because he said, I'm not going to pull down these differing opinion sites. I mean, just take a look at the battering that everyone who disagreed with any of the norms of COVID took over the last 2 years. Any doctors, any virologists, and people that went, I don't believe this is the right direction to go, or had ideas that ran afoul of whatever the common thoughts were that were coming from the CDC, they got deplatformed. And I think that caused Elon a lot to kind of go, I want to get involved with this. And who knows? It's scary to me that many journalists are very upset that he wants to open this up.
I'm trying to figure out why anyone would feel that way. So here's a question, I guess, for lack of a better word, devil's advocate. They're thinking if we're journalists and we're trying to get to the truth, there's all these people who are screaming that they have the truth, and that's irresponsible. If it's in fact an outright lie.
Well, their thing is it's being regulated in one direction right now.
Right.
And he's saying, I want to open it up in both directions. And the people that they're screaming about it are on the side of the direction it's going.
Right.
They pulled off, Hunter, the New York Post or whatever the publication is. They did the Hunter Biden story. And then Twitter pulled it down and said fake news. They shouldn't have done that. It was real. Right. And they knew it, but they took it down. So all the people that are on that side of the aisle like the control of going, we don't like this information or COVID bullshit,
that's a good example.
Information, whatever it is. They go, this is our guys. So we like control over this thing because we don't want their guys getting involved with this. And so they look at Elon as the other guy or not their guy, but the other guy's just saying, hey, it's going to be opened up. So if it's true, or if we vet it as true, then it's opened up to that, and they don't want that.
No, that's a great point. You just think of like Elon as the other guy, like the guy who's creating.
He's the man.
Well, yeah, that's true. But like creating like Tesla and electric power, it's like you decide what's important to you, and if the
He's
other person
the most
has
successful African American on the planet.
That's true.
That is a very good
Bold.
point.
We should be a huge fan of this
Him
guy.
and Charlize Theron.
That's right.
You just dunked.
Right.
You just dunked on
we should
everybody.
force them to have kids so they can have a super African American
child.
That's right. You think they would be applauding this African American that came to this country as a poor immigrant and done so much?
Poor immigrant.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's really well said. You know what we don't talk about enough? The Charlize Theron crazy ass, her upbringing. Remember that story?
Her mom shot her dad or something.
Well, they were trying to barricade themselves in the room because the dad crazy shit.
First then Oscar Pistorius. What the fuck's going on?
I know.
South
What's going
Africa?
on down there? Let's talk Kim Kardashian. She is calling on Texas Governor Greg Abbott to stop the scheduled execution of death row inmate Melissa Lucio. That is scheduled for April 27th. Lucio's been on death row for nearly 15 years.
Kind of close, Kim.
After she was convicted of murdering her 2-year-old, she insisted the little girl fell down a flight of stairs. Her attorneys and family said she was forced into giving a false confession. Kim Kardashian is supporting the family's efforts to stop the execution. Kim shared a letter written by Lucio's family, which includes her 14 children, asking Governor Abbott to spare the life of our mother.
She had 14 children?
It says...
Only one of which.
It says her 14 children.
Less than 10% of your kids.
Yeah. Lucio's son tells TMZ that Kim's support has lifted her spirits and given her hope. I mean, we talk about the Kardashians and, talk about somebody who has something for everybody. It's like, screw them. What have they ever done that's changed humanity? And then you have, another example of Kim trying to deal with people not getting executed. She has a really wide range.
I'm generally for the Kardashians to some degree, and I'm for you having your causes, whether you're Ricky Lake or Kim Kardashian. Sure. But is she publicizing this? Because that's the part that makes me raise my eyebrow.
You're going to find it's hard to believe, but the Kardashians just premiered on Hulu 2 days ago.
What? Yeah, I know.
It's hard to believe.
I know.
You're right.
So
but the story from that episode apparently is Ray J, which I'm not even getting into.
But we all love...
No, right. It's not contract for the show.
Right.
It's to promote.
Right.
We all, I think, respect that part, tell the story where... Sean Hannity reached out to Brian Whitman and quietly said, let me help you, whatever. And then at some point, somebody else brings the story up. I like those stories where the person does the anonymous donations.
The anonymous library.
Years later, we find out.
Kim blowing a call into Abbott is great. It's her getting a publicist to let us know about it but then you go, well, with more publicity, maybe
do some good with that fame. And then you think the women or whoever it was, I can't remember, who are, basically coached her through the baby bar and people that she's, in law school with are probably hey, I'm totally speculating, but maybe it's we helped you a lot. You think you could use your fame and do this thing that you're actually working on for, class or whatever the hell it is.
There's the another thing as I think about when you talk about prison, Mark Garagos came in here fired up about, which was, I think there's a story, Chris, maybe you can ask Gary.
Is there anything Garagos is middling on?
He's just
got a
very strong
lukewarm.
Take your
opinions about
leave.
everything. This is a prison, women's prison, Seattle, Portland, somewhere in the north there. I think 2 or 3 of the women are pregnant from the ladies who identify as
boy.
ladies who still obviously have working parts.
It's a miracle.
And
I saw the documentary from Rookie Lake.
I've been screaming about this a million times. You just having a cock and balls and saying, I like to hang in the ladies' dorm. How long before this happens? I mean, it's impossible.
Not long, it seems.
It's impossible. Could you imagine taking biological dudes who are just completely biological, but just identified as ladies and just putting them in?
Rooster in the hen house, dude.
I did not see this coming.
Really?
Literally.
Really?
Oh, that's the only way.
Yeah, this feels like a very natural.
Well, first things first, you're going to have this group of guys going, you want to hang out in General Pop with the dudes, or would you rather go in the ladies' prison? Every guy I know would rather spend time in the ladies' prison.
I absolutely get the concept, but did anyone else specifically have the idea of them impregnating the female inmates? Like that specifically just was not on my radar.
Everything goes a direction that leads to some sort of biological, logical, emotional end. It is, all right, we have a prison, a women's prison. Okay. Males commit a lot of crimes, the lion's share of the crimes. Hey, males, would you rather be in a woman's prison or a men's prison? Then all the males go, I'd rather be in a woman's prison. Right. Okay. Then we go, how many of you would like to undergo gender reassignment surgery? And a lot of hands go down. But then they go, hold on. What if you just said you were a woman and you didn't have to cut your cock and balls off, and then the hands would go back up, and then there would be a number of those people would then go into the women's prison. And then it strikes me that women and men in prison like to have sex because they're cut off from the outside world.
Any port in a storm.
Good news.
Yeah.
There's a guy kind of looks like your old boyfriend who's here, and then you think about precautions, Ricky Lake and her birth control, condoms, probably not something that
is plentiful.
Right.
Plentiful.
Easily accessible.
Now you get
previous
to
and necessary.
Pregnancy. You have the story. Oh, is it New Jersey?
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's New Jersey. So transgender prisoner Demetrius Minor, age 27, has admitted she got 2 women inmates pregnant in a New Jersey women's prison.
Oh, I do love the wording. She got 2 people pregnant.
How?
She did.
She snuck in semen samples?
That's right. She got Drake's condom. He didn't put any Tabasco in there. She got. I love that we have to write it this way. She got 2 people, and I'll never get over it. It always bumps me. I'm like, Drake. Oh no, not Drake. Yeah. All right. Sorry. Read it again.
Read it again. Okay. Transgender prisoner Demetrius Minor, 27, has admitted she got 2 women inmates pregnant in a New Jersey women's prison.
He's got a beard.
Yeah. She goes by
He looks
Demi
like
now.
Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, in this, there is another picture of Demetrius with a fuller, more Kardashian brow and a clean shave, if that helps you, Brian.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, so Demetrius is serving 30 years behind bars for killing, now it says his, so for killing his foster father and carjacking. One of the pregnant women is double murderer Latonia Bellamy, who's in this picture that we're seeing, who will give birth in early fall.
They're made for each other.
And now, at some point, there's going to be lawsuits from the biological women who claim that this guy either raped them or even if it's consensual or shared a shower. Like, there's going to be a bunch of lawsuits going the other direction.
You know,
this guy kills somebody, carjacks, and just decides he'll declare his major as a woman, and then we pay to incarcerate him while he has sex. What could go wrong?
Aren't there parts of male prisons for segregated housing for trans prisoners?
I saw the second longest yard. I understand how these things work very clearly.
She's hot.
Yeah. I'm sure they're going to have to do something, but this ain't it. Look, maybe we're just going to need, like we need the third bathroom now. Maybe we just need the third prison.
Genderless.
Yeah. Okay. We'll keep an eye on
Don't know
that.
that would solve anything.
That's very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Let's talk Bam Margera, former Jackass star, has settled his wrongful termination suit against his one-time pal and boss, Johnny Knoxville, which he filed after firing him from Jackass Forever. So according to TMZ, which you might already know, Adam, Margera, who had a number of rehab stints in recent years, has asked that the suit be dismissed. He dropped it. He filed the papers after being dismissed from the sequel for testing positive for Adderall, and that's a drug he said he'd been prescribed for years due to various conditions. Bam claimed that Knoxville and Paramount were inhumane and discriminatory in his treatment and compared his situation to Britney Spears and her conservatorship. No details about the settlement have been released, but apparently it's just over.
I missed it on TMZ.
Oh, wow. I thought you were going to fill us in.
Well, there's TMZ, the website.
Right.
And then there's TMZ Live.
Right.
And then there's TMZ, the half-hour show with Brian's buddy Derek, who I enjoy. Some stuff will make the website, make the live show, but not make the cut for the half hour that I watch. So I feel like this didn't make that cut.
I see. Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on that. And in the, maybe you heard this story, TMZ, this is also page 6. Tandy Newton, great actress. We've seen her in tons of stuff. She has exited Magic Mike's Last Dance, which sadly is probably the last of the trilogy for Magic Mike, for acting bizarrely on set, according to page 6.
She came to fame in a Bond.
She was in a Bond movie, yeah. I don't know if,
she was in Crash, right?
You know what? That's the last, I was just thinking about, the last Best Picture winner I never saw was Crash.
Wow.
Heard it was very okay.
Well, from us TV watchers, we all know her from Westworld. She's Maeve.
She had something, she was in a Tom Cruise movie. That was
yeah,
a
Mission
movie.
Impossible?
Yeah, I think so, but we know her.
Okay, so.
Beautiful.
Stunning and English, I believe. Sources say that she'd been filming in London when those close to the production became worried about her health. Newton is said to be battling emotional and family problems after separating from her husband of 24 years, and that she's likely headed to rehab. One source said she's going through a lot. She and her husband separated. She's super stressed, and she even brought her 2 pet support rabbits with her, and is just acting a little off. But no worries for any guys who are going to be dragged along to Magic Mike's Last Dance. She has been replaced by Salma Hayek. So it'll be a little something for everybody to see.
Yeah, man. Selma's the gift that keeps giving.
Oh, boy.
Her boobs get bigger every year. She never gets old.
No.
What the hell's up with her?
It's funny you should say that. I heard her maybe last year on a Mark Maron podcast talking about just that. She, in this gorgeous accent, she's saying, women have to remain talented and remain demure and remain smart and remain hot and never get old. And
they do.
Though she's bitching about it, she's achieving it.
Yeah,
she's doing really well.
Tandy Newton was married for 24 years?
I guess, yeah.
We might have been thinking of the Mission Impossible movie. I don't know that she was in a Bond movie.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking Mission Impossible. You're exactly right. I didn't know she was old enough to be married for 24 years.
Same.
Shit don't crack.
She must have got married in high school or something. She's 49?
Damn.
Wow.
Good for her.
Good for her, sort of, with the rabbits. Yeah. Yeah. And let me tell you guys about rabbits. I had rabbits.
Go on.
They're super cute.
They will eat themselves to death.
What do you mean?
They don't have a thing where they get full.
Really? I just thought they chew on everything to keep their teeth from growing.
You give them a whole head of lettuce, they eat the entire head of they do not stop, and they keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Wow.
You got to put them on portion control, man. They just don't have a thing where they get full.
You owned rabbits? This is the first time hearing of this.
Yeah.
Not as far as the state knew.
We had rabbits. We had a kitten. Me and Donnie in our first apartment with maybe my buddy Chris lived there too. We had a 1-bedroom with, a few dudes.
Hot.
And we had kittens and we had a kitten. Someone just got it at the grocery store and then dropped it off. Or else when you used to, the cats would be in a box and you'd leave and get like, again, the conceit was always weird. Like, I'm going to go into Gelson's, get an energy bar. Oh, what do we have here?
Hey.
A cat?
Calico.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'll take that.
A living thing?
Yeah, a living thing. Yeah, I'll raise that.
Wow. How'd the kitten do?
The kitten...
It's hosting its own podcast.
The kitten hung out There's footage. I don't know where that is, Chris, but there's footage of the cat running around chasing the rabbits around. At some point, the kitten was given to a responsible family to raise.
Thank Christ.
And the rabbits were set free in the hills of Laurelwood.
I'm sure they fared well.
I'm sure.
Deliciously well.
Fat, overfed rabbits.
There's no
What could
survival
go wrong?
skills.
I said the only way this rabbit made it past the first night is if the coyotes thought it was a trick. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
a bait bunny.
Who would just take
hold on now,
these
son.
two huge canned hams and drop them off in our den? No, but this thing's got to be pointed. It's a trick.
Yeah.
Don't go there. That was night one.
Did you name these animals?
The cat's
Lunch and dinner.
The cat's name was Max.
Cute.
And I don't remember the rabbit's name.
Okay. This is for the best. There is a Japanese game show that's been on for like 30 years that Netflix has acquired. So now we are all seeing it for the first time, and it's kind of blowing Americans' minds. It highlights a big difference between Japanese culture and American culture. It's a show translated, it's called Old Enough. And in each episode, it's just hold on. It's basically a toddler being sent on their first errand alone. And of course, it's being filmed. So there's clearly a cameraman. And I'm showing you some footage as I tell you the story. In the first of the 20 episodes that are available on Netflix, we're seeing a 2-year-old traveling through the town to a convenience store to buy groceries. In the 4th episode, a 3-year-old crosses a 5-lane road in a city that's basically the size of Cincinnati to go to the fish market. This show's been on for 30 years, serious part of Japanese culture. And if you see in the video, the little boy we're watching has a little yellow flag. Apparently, everyone is coached up in Japan that they leave. I looked into it just a little bit. There's like a bucket of yellow flags on the side of the street, and a little kid picks it up, and people are like supposed to be, and I guess are extra cautious of them crossing the street. And also if they're carrying it around, that's like a sign like, everybody look out for this child. He's literally alone.
This kid's adorable.
He's super cute, and I think he gets it done. Another example, because I was like, what other cultures seem to be better than ours? Norway and Denmark, we've talked about this before, they're sort of known for leaving their kids in strollers outside while they go in for lunch or go shopping in freezing temperatures, like 16 degrees.
Hardy.
Because the fresh air, they said actually the cold fresh air while they're bundled up helps them sleep while they sit outside. There's usually, they try to get a window seat maybe. If there's a little kid getting the little groceries.
Oh, man. 2
and
years old.
He's a toddler. And now, remember when the phrase free range parenting was hot and we basically knew it because parents were getting arrested for it, for neglect, letting them kids walk to school on their own? We live in very different cultures.
Yeah, we're sorry, Nancy Grace, but we've convinced every fucking mom on the planet that their child is job one for the abduction van.
First of all, Adam, I do believe I cornered the market on that. Thank you. So please give credit where credit is due.
I enjoyed your 15th episode of What Happened to Natalie Holloway, by the way, that premiered on Fox 27 times last weekend.
We took a deep dive, no pun intended, because we felt like that story has yet to be told. And Vandersloot, I'm still coming for you.
Yeah. I'm laughing because I'm picturing me and Norm Macdonald and
talking Vandersloot.
You ever hear that one?
I don't remember it.
It was back in the radio days.
Oh, I gotta hear it.
Made me laugh.
Why do we even still know that?
He was Vandersloot calling me, trying to figure out, wanting me to go move the boat or help him with the body or something. I thought
it was the other way around, but that was the premise.
Yeah.
I need to hear it.
We'll play it on tomorrow's show.
That's great.
Tip of the hat to Norm. All right, let's bring it home.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
I don't know if there's a pill I could take that would get me off of a tight ass and big tits.
Gina Grad. That was the news with Gina Grad.
Wait a minute. I do know. Cyanide. That would be the pill.
Well done.
There we go.
Yep.
There is one.
Yep.
Same one the And Nazi war criminals.
That's right. Bite down your cat.
Yeah, you're done.
All right, Indianapolis coming up, Helium Comedy Club May 6th and 7th. 4 shows coming up there. We'll do live pods. We'll do stand-up there. Sea Legs here's going to sell out, and that's coming up May 20th at Sea Legs at the beach at Huntington Beach. Fun, live, open air, good vibe, good times. Come on down for that. Oh, let me hit LifeLock. That's right. Tax season is always crazy, but it's going to feel even more stressful if you fall victim to scammers pretending to be IRS, asking for personal info, bank accounts, or for you to wire them money. It's important to understand how cybercrime and identity theft are affecting our lives. Every day we put our info at risk on the internet. In an instant, cyber criminals could harm your finances and your credit. Good thing there's LifeLock. LifeLock helps detect a wide range of identity threats, like your social security number for sale on the dark web. If there's a problem, you'll have access to a dedicated restoration specialist. It's LifeLock, right, Dawson?
No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but you can keep what's yours with LifeLock by Norton. Join now and save up to 25% off your first year with promo code Adam. Call 1-800-LifeLock or head to LifeLock.com. Use promo code Adam for 25% off.
All right, I want to thank Eli Jane. The Way, the name of her action movie, and that's available on Apple TV and YouTube as well. And then, of course, Ricky Lake, which is the business of
birth
control. Yeah, sorry, it says something different on my bio here. But Ricky Lake and Eli Jane and Gina Grad and Bald Bryan, this is Adam saying Mahala.
We live in very different cultures.
Yeah, we're sorry, Nancy Grace, but we've convinced every fucking mom on the planet that their child is job one for the abduction van.
First of all, Adam, I do believe I cornered the market on that. Thank you. So please give credit where credit is due.